Rough Edge FM. Irritatingly irresistible internet radio at roughedgefm.com.
Welcome to Magic Talk, the ultimate backstage pass to the world of magic. We dive deep into the art, the craft, and the business behind the illusion. If it's magic, we talk about it. Sometimes. And now, your hosts, master of misdirection and dad jokes, magician James Lantine, purveyor of magical oddities and unpaid family labor, magic shop owner Joshua Lantine, and straight from a suspiciously nearby park bench, the one, the only, Gregory Alexander.
Yeah,
That's
but
right.
What happened to that park bench?
Well, it seems like someone moved it because I don't recognize this place anymore, James. What you tell me what happened?
I've been inspired.
I can tell. You've been inspired. You've been a busy bee. You've been a busy bee.
So
lately.
I've built a castle wall or a castle doors.
Castle doors yet?
I made my own slate wall.
Yep.
In several places.
Yep.
I've
booth.
Ticket booth.
Installed a ticket booth.
I am in the process of finishing the poster, which will be the door. And I got the electric curtains up, and I got all the lightings.
A whole new world in there, man.
Yeah.
Right. And new slot walls, and yeah, it looks completely different. It's awesome.
And so you were at the Molo and Lou show.
Lou show, yeah. Big Lou. Big Lou. Shout out Jonathan Molo. Great job, guys. It was a great show.
So I wasn't there, unfortunately. I was in New York, and then I came back.
You were missed.
I got deathly
You were
ill.
missed.
I was missed?
Yeah.
No, nobody probably
There was no
noticed.
awkward comments being made during the show, which was odd.
No bad dad jokes?
No bad dad jokes this time.
Yeah. So and then I got really sick.
Yeah, I'm glad
still,
you're better though.
Yeah.
For sure. There's a lot of nasty stuff going around.
I'm still kind of stuffy, but other than that, I'm doing okay.
Yeah. Well,
so
that's good, man.
Yeah, so our neighbor came to see that show, and he came over yesterday. It was the first time I've seen him since I've been back, and he's like, oh my god, you gotta you gotta tell me how he did this. How did this guy? Huh?
Was it the stranger?
The stranger with the video podcast or with the FaceTime?
It's so interesting to me how people love that thing, man. It's really great.
Well, and it sounds like they threw FaceTime on it.
Yeah, they did FaceTime.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize they added FaceTime to Stranger.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But yeah,
it's definitely an app worth looking into if you're interested in app magic.
Yeah.
It seems to be I've seen it performed live for those of you that are concerned with, apps working or not working. I've seen Molo do it, I don't know. At least I've seen his show a lot.
Yeah.
And I've never seen it fail. Never seen a problem with it.
Yeah, I've seen several use it. I've never seen it with the FaceTime though.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So when he said FaceTime, I'm like, huh. Maybe he did a setup.
Yeah, right? I mean, you could just do it old school like that. Right?
Yeah,
you really could.
But yeah, they were totally blown away by it.
One cool thing about Stranger too that I've just noticed. So I use Solo. They've just done a integration with Stranger as well. So now in your show notes for your queue system, you can get information.
Really?
Yes.
Nice.
For other things as well. So it's really cool. It works for Lumen impression pads too. So you can get impression pad information in the show notes under your audio queue that you're running for your routine.
So explain Solo to me.
It is a show operation system, right? Like I guess you would say it's a show controller.
Okay.
So you upload your music. You could do video cues. You can do image cues. And it's all operated with an RFID system. So you have a scanner on your person, or it could be in a pad or anywhere you want. And all of your props that you're using for your routines have an RFID tag on them. And that is how you cue your music. Uncle Rich and I used it fully for our last show, and it went great, super smooth. And we had like 9 audio cues, I think, for 15 to 20 minutes, just a few different routines. And it went really, really well. I integrated the tags for all of our cues for our volcano and everything like that.
So can you queue up lighting, DMX?
Oh, sorry, lighting. I think lighting's the only one that it won't. But what it does now do, it integrates. You can use it as a MIDI controller to control QLabs and things like that.
Okay.
So I want to say yes ish. I just haven't explored it enough to be able to intelligently explain it to you.
Right.
But I'm sure if the owner was here, he'd be like, absolutely, and he's a great salesman.
So the interesting thing about QLab is it's so stinking expensive if you want to add lighting to it.
I noticed that too.
Yeah, the royalties
it keeps right. It's you pay per feature that's available.
Yeah.
So I think the first one is music, and that's free, right?
You can get one that's free. You're limited in a lot of ways. But then if you want to add video to it,
and then it's more, and then it's
if
more.
you want to add lighting to it,
and is this a yearly expense?
Yes.
So it's like $1,000 a year or something.
Yeah, it's like,
right?
I think with the DMX, it's like $1,700
a year.
Yeah.
So for the pros out there,
yeah,
that's the way to go. QLab. Daryl, his son, I believe, is a QLab expert.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Charles. So that he knows how to do everything. So.
Oh, wow.
If you ever interested.
Yeah, I have another one that I was trying that does lighting, video, audio, and that might be it. But it's only a couple hundred. The interface is not great, but I'm gonna set it up downstairs and see how it works with the lighting.
What's it called?
I'd have to pull out my notebook. I don't. It's and it's only available on PC.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, right on.
So, but I'll check that out, and if it's worth looking into, then I'll let people know.
Speaking of lighting, we had Johnny Ace Palmer at our last show, and he brought some lights. He just had a couple of LED par lights that we put up in the corner, and man, it made such a difference.
Yeah,
it really made a huge difference. So, it's funny you brought up lighting because that's the past like 4 or 5 days. That's like what we've been researching is I'm trying to find some good affordable lighting that I could just have one tree with some good features on it. And there's some cool options out there, man. We could, you can't trigger it with a show controller that we have available at the moment, but you can still pre-program some pretty cool sequences. And if you have the ability to push a button or a foot switch or have someone do it for you, you can still get some pretty cool programming going on pretty easily.
So I'm using Light Key is the name of the program. It's a lighting controller on your computer. So it works with Mac or PC.
Can it go on an iPad?
I believe so.
That's cool.
And so you set up your DMX channels and the type of lighting you have on the channels, and then you can create, setups as cues, basically. So you can literally just press the cue and it will set the lights to whatever you defined it as, and then you set the next cue and so on. So I have about 7 cues set up on that for our theater downstairs. So one is like a pre-show, and then I have the one for the improv, and I have one for the table side magic or the table magic versus parlor magic. And so it's little different setups for it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But Light Key is pretty easy to use. It's visual, so you can see which par cans are actually on because it has a map of your stage. So when you set up the cues, you'll see the lights.
Now, when you're setting up DMX in general, you kind of have to have, I'd imagine, some sort of a layout of your stage, right? So you know what to program and what's doing what.
Yeah, you basically, so DMX, and by the way, DMX is connected with XLR cables, but they actually have
wireless dongles, right?
They do, and I do have a wireless setup for it, but it's too flaky. Depending on, like, for example, I went into one place that was completely made up of brick, and about halfway through the show, all of a sudden the lights just started flickering, and it was like, what the heck? And so I hardwired it during our intermission, and then it was fine.
Interesting. So maybe
But
that was like a default if it's losing signal or something.
no, it was the lights were on, but then it was losing its signal, so it was going off.
Oh, got it.
And then it went back on when it recaptured the signal, but then it went off, and then it went. And so, any wireless device you can kind of flake out, and I don't think these channels are very high, so there's probably a lot of disruption that can happen. So I prefer hardwire if I can. We have DMX lights as well as the Chalet ILS systems.
The ILS.
Yeah. So the ILS is
it's like a dumbed down version of DMX, right? It's like a more simplistic.
Yeah, it's plug and play kind of type thing. It's okay, and supposedly I was told. So I have 3 bars of 4 lights on each with the ILS, and I was told that you can program each light individually, which I have not been able to figure out. That is not intuitive at all. So it's kind of like everything's white, everything's red, everything's blue, everything's it's.
Now, are you using the command controller?
Yeah. Yeah.
With it.
So it's a little quirky in its setup if you want to do anything special. If it's just a matter of lights are on and it's this color, and blackout and lights are on and it's this color. So if you want to do something like that, it's really easy. It's plug and play. And they have 2 sets of ILSs. One has the Wi-Fi built into it, and the other bars you have to get like the stick that you stick into the back of it.
The DeFi.
Same problem that I had with the DMX Wi-Fi. 2 of the lights working fine. All of a sudden, this third light's tweaking out. And put a hard wire from one of the trees to the other tree, and take away that plug, and it works beautifully. So I'm not 100% fan of Wi-Fi, because every time I've done it, I've experienced oddities with the lighting doing its thing. And I don't want to find out halfway through the show that it's going to happen, because it doesn't always happen at the beginning, but then all of a sudden, for some reason, you fill up the room, and I don't know if it's cell phones or whatever.
Yeah, it could be.
And all of a sudden, it starts acting weird. So I tend to always hardwire my lights. So I have an ILS system, and then we also have a DMX. And what I like about DMX is each light. So there's 3 channels, 7 channels, and 13 channels are like the norm. And so if you like 7 channels might be that you can add strobing and all that other kind of stuff. 3 channel might just be red, blue, green, whatever. So downstairs we tend to use the 7 channel for different features. And whatever, so you set up your channel as channel 1 for certain sets of lights. And so then anything that's on channel 1, if you tell it to go white, it will go white. If you tell it to go blue, it'll go blue. And then your next channel will be channel 8 if it's a 7-channel light. So it's taking channel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So your next batch will be 8. And you can control those completely different. And then your next batch will be 16, and you can control those entirely different. So when you program it, like for example with Light Key, I can say, all right, I want channel 1 to be a light blue, and I want channel 8 to be a spot on a particular table, and I want channel 16 to kind of flood with a nice soft white. And so you can program the way you want. You can have 1 light on each channel. You can batch multiples of them on the same channel. So I typically, downstairs we have pairs. So there's 2 lights on each channel. One's left, one's right.
Nice.
and they both operate on the same. And then we have another batch of lights that will be on a separate channel, which we can control lighting for. So, the thing that I find when you do lighting like that is that it really steps. It's like music, adding some music to your show kind of steps up the game a little bit, makes it feel like a little bit more theatrical. You add lights to it, and that's just that next layer of professionalism and really giving people an experience.
Yes.
So I tend to travel with lights most of the time.
Yeah, that's gonna be our thing. It looks really good. We even have a hazer now.
A hazer.
Ooh. A handheld hazer.
Really?
Yeah, my old man picked it up.
Oh, very cool. How does that work?
It's called the Smoke Ninja Pro, and it has
I'm familiar with that.
That could do dry ice and all this, and it has a hazer. So it's got a bigger fan that it's its own battery, but it Bluetooths and you hit it and it does a nice thin, and it'll haze up the room. You could even put it in the corner and use the remote. So we're trying to create a higher professional experience for everybody.
It's cool if you add the hazing with the lights.
Yeah,
because you actually see the beams. Yeah.
So
it kind of gives a really cool effect. So that's awesome. So you've seen my trees that I have for curtains. So my curtains, I can literally do a box layout where I can perform in front of the curtain, and the box is my setup area. Or I can do a wing layout where I have a 12-foot back, and then I have two side 10-foots, and then I have another 10-foot that runs out. So you can kind of create a wing layout.
That's kind of how you had it at the Santa Paula Theater, right? Ron Saylor.
Yeah,
if I remember.
Yeah, and when we did the mashup. It was set up as a
cool.
as a
that was
wing.
a while ago now.
That is a while ago. So that's just one more element. So I know I gotta stop saying so. Holy crap!
That's your buzzword. You know that, Jim.
No, I gotta stop. I'm not gonna say it.
Don't do it. No.
It's every one of these little elements kind of just steps it up. I'm not a big fan. I know a lot of people use them, of the small, 10 by whatever, or maybe they're 8 bys, where the tree pops up and it's got the little curtain thing.
We used it. Shout out Miggs. Our buddy Miggs owns one, and he let us borrow one. It's really cool, but it's a little too small.
Yeah, and again, I don't mean to dish anybody or
it gives birthday party vibes.
Yeah,
it gives we know.
Okay,
everyone knows. We know.
Okay,
you're not gonna hurt anybody's feelings.
All right.
Yeah,
cool.
It just it slightly gives birthday party vibes. We get it.
Yeah, and it looks flimsy.
It has a lot to do, though, I feel like, with the size. Did you see the larger ones at Magic Live?
No.
They're a little more substantial.
Okay.
They're a little. It's kind of what it needs to be. I feel like the smaller one, it's what we all want it to be, because it's light, it's easy, you can throw it in and go.
Right.
But the bigger one, really, if you're trying to really do something with it, it's really what you need, something a little bit bigger, a little bit taller, because it goes 8 feet. They sell a larger one that goes 9 feet, and that foot difference, really, you can see it really makes a difference.
Yeah.
But they're not cheap, man. Those things are pricey. So
yeah.
we did pipe and drape for the last one. Uncle Rich's wife did a great job. She sewed some curtains up for us and everything.
This is Magic Life?
No, this was at our last show with Johnny.
Oh my gosh, that looks so.
Isn't that nice?
That looks really good.
Yeah, she did a great job. It just takes a little bit longer to set up, more like 20 minutes instead of 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But as long as you put the time in and you have it to set up, it looked really good.
Yeah, it does.
It's such a fun show.
Really
Johnny's such a class guy. He's a nice dude.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
That's awesome. I got to get him on for Spellbound. I don't know if he'd come out this way for it or not, but
I would not be surprised if he did. He seems to just love doing magic and will take any opportunity to do some magic.
Nice.
So don't be afraid to hit him up.
Okay. All right.
I'll have Uncle Rich asking for you.
I will do that.
They talk, so that's cool.
Yeah. So like I was saying, that you every little element, the music game gets stepped up. the lighting game gets stepped up, the backdrops, the game gets stepped up.
Yeah, absolutely. Even the equipment you use. We recently got a new speaker. For my birthday gift was a speaker, so I got a nice JBL speaker.
Okay.
With a good column speaker and everything. Yes.
Kind with the bass
value.
and the stem.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So I have a couple of those,
and then I'll get a picture of that. It's cool too because I have a cool iPad mount just to clip the iPad right to the dang stand now.
Oh yeah.
For our show. Look how nice that is.
Yep. That's awesome.
Really big screen and everything. And man, this thing just sounds super good. The thing I noticed about it when we did the last show was we sounded less mic'd. Because it's such a larger speaker and the arrays are so nice. It sounded less like we were on a mic. It just sounded more like you could hear us.
And are you using lavs or are you using
head mounted?
Okay.
Head mounted, and I was using the
and are you
the Rode Wireless Pro.
Are you putting them on properly so you don't sound like Darth Vader?
We're trying, man. And then what I did was I got this VXLR Pro converter or like balancer. So I plugged that into the mic line input, and it actually will read the receiver as a microphone as opposed to a 3.5 like accessory. So,
okay.
Yeah, it gave the proper balance of everything in there.
Nice.
And then I'm just using the Wireless Pro on one channel to run both of our mics.
So you're both connected to the same channel.
To the same channel, yeah.
And so you're limited in volume control.
As far as that, yeah, but
yeah.
we just as long as you can hear, we just go to the same level with the music and we're good.
Yeah, and if you're using the facial mics, I mean, obviously the pickup is a lot better. I personally like lavs because I like to hide my mic. I don't like it to be.
My concern is touching my chest because we're moving a lot with the show,
right?
I'm grabbing stuff and whatnot and opening my coat a lot, and my concern is just subconsciously like sorry,
yeah,
oh, my bad, guys, that kind of a thing,
right?
So, and what's funny is, man, the mics I got, they fit great, they look great, and they were $20 on Amazon.
Wow.
And yeah, and I was looking at like $400 Countrymen's, and I don't mind, I'll pay for something that's good if it's going to last me and it's worth it. And I was just looking at some reviews, and a couple of people were like, you really should check out these $20 mics on Amazon comparatively there. And so then I watched a video, and the guy was kind of and then it sounded pretty darn similar to me. And so I just got the first one. I paid $20. I got it the next day, and I was like, oh my gosh,
that's awesome.
Why would I get anything else? And so I bought another one.
So they have I would love to get these, especially because we do musical theater for the kids. They have they're used on Broadway.
I've seen them.
And they're just a little stem and it stops right there.
Just like that. Yep.
So
That's so cool.
I do have I have pin mics. So they're just little tiny pins. And what I'll do is I'll loop the cord over the kid's ear and I'll tape it right here onto their face. And then I tape the wire down on their neck. So it's just a little pin right over here, but it sounds amazing. But these other ones that are designed, on ear, and they just come right at the base of where your little flap is on your ear, $700 and something bucks.
I know. I looked them up.
Yeah.
I saw it. I'm like, that's really cool because also it looks less fragile than the other ones. You can just throw it in your bag and you're good to go. Yeah, and I was like, yeah, no, maybe later.
Yeah,
maybe later.
Because those I would love to.
Now they have different models of those too. But still, like, goodness gracious.
Even their cheapest model was pretty expensive.
Yeah, it's like $500 or something.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, I'll stick with my $20 Mamma Jamma for right now.
So so you're using lavs, which is great. A lot of times people tend to stay away from microphones. The one thing that I don't like is the microphone that hangs. And Jonathan, I'm sorry, because I know Jonathan Molo uses
he does. He throws it in there sometimes.
Yeah, and it's just a distraction. It looks.
Well, it's unnatural. It's an unnatural. You don't often see it. So when someone does it, you're like, "What the heck did you just do?" He's wearing. Huh? That's interesting. I've never. And now your brain is thinking about that as opposed to just staying in the moment.
And I just, to me, it just kind of screams like a poor man's Lav. You know,
Take it
I don't-
easy, all right? Take
I
it easy.
know,
Jonathan, don't listen
I'm
to James,
sorry,
all right?
Jonathan. Jonathan
Jonathan's
knows.
working all the time.
I know.
okay?
Jonathan knows
He's
I love
good
him
to
too.
go, all right?
I texted him this morning and I told him how amazing he is. So
Oh, awesome.
I think that gives me
I agree.
I think that gives me one credit to kind of throw out there. But yeah, so I'm not a big fan of that. I am a zero fan for a stand-up microphone.
Not even for a suspension
Well, to do a pass-through or something like that, maybe.
or a girl pole suspension.
Oh yeah,
I've heard, I haven't seen it, but someone does a pole suspension with a microphone.
oh really?
That's very clever.
Okay.
I feel like that's probably one. I think it was Chuck Jones that was telling me about.
Okay,
And that's clever.
that is.
You know, it's pretty good. Or if you're doing floating rows, I don't know if you ever noticed, but even if Copperfield's in the middle of the audience, he'll have a microphone stand sitting there while he's floating a rose for somebody every show.
Oh really? I
You're
missed
like,
that.
Why would you put a microphone stand right there, man? You're not even holding a microphone.
Yeah. Yeah,
Not even using
exactly.
it. Yeah, but anyways,
But if you're Copperfield, you get away with anything.
you know,
So that's cool. I'm really happy for you guys.
thanks, man.
I think that's great. And
It's at first it was like, yeah, that would be a fun, cool little thing we could do or try to get. Now it's like, we might actually be able to turn this into something. That the cool thing is the restaurant's private owned and they have 10 locations. I'm not saying the name, all you thirsty magicians out there, calm it down. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah,
But so if this is a nice proof of concept and this is, what was it, the 6th show that we did? That was the 6th one or 5th one, and everyone's sold out so far.
nice.
And each time the perception of value is getting better and better. We're adding to it. So if we can get this going well and maybe do multiples or more, and could turn into something quite nice.
Are they all located within a general proximity, or are they scattered?
Well, they're kind of scattered. A couple are near each other in different areas. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they're all near beach communities, which is very nice.
Yeah.
Dana Point's beautiful. I love going down there. It's like, we were joking, it's like Santa Clarita by the sea.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah,
Yeah. And so every show's been sold out.
that's right.
And how many people does it seat?
It's 36.
Nice.
Yeah, and everybody buys food and drinks. It's really nice, man.
Yeah.
And typically when we're there, it's really not that busy for the restaurant. So I'm glad that we're there to be able to get some good numbers for them for a couple.
Yeah,
hours.
that's encouraging for them to say, yeah, right on, bring it on.
Yeah.
You know, it's-
And like not to flex, but like we even had people at the last show calling that they knew it was sold out, but they were asking if they can get on a list just in case someone doesn't show up, that they could get called to come to the show.
that's amazing.
Which was great. And
Yeah.
then after the show, we had people going, "Hey, we heard all the fun everyone's having. We got to get in on this. What's going on?"
And are you keeping a mailing list and everything
Yep.
of all the
And
people?
The servers loved it. The servers were like, "We hope we get scheduled for the next show. This was so much fun." So I'm like, "Gosh, I hope the next show's good."
Well,
I'm just kidding.
you
I'm just
did
kidding.
have Johnny Ace Palmer, so
I know. I was
it's-
like, we pulled out Johnny too soon. We should have waited.
so
We should've waited.
speaking of that, talking about John Bannon.
Yes. Yeah. Tell me about
for-
the John. I couldn't make it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I want to hear about it.
But we had him as the first lecture, and my introduction was, we have John Bannon as our first lecture we're going to be doing a quarterly White Rabbit lecture series. Jonathan Molo, by the way, will be the next one up.
Let's go.
He doesn't know it yet, but he will be our next lecturer. But when I introduced him, I'm like, we're looking forward to this being the start of this new lecture series. Although normally when you start something, you build up to the biggest, and we're starting with the biggest, so I don't know where we go from there. Because
That's
it's
so
like
funny.
it's like, where do you go?
Mhm.
You got the guy who has one of the most popular magic effects on the market. Where do you go
Mhm.
after that? So
Where did he go? Where did you go? How was it? What did you guys learn?
it was really good.
Did he
nice
and
guy.
What was the focus? Was it on like how he creates all these effects, or is it more like how like presentation style? Like what was the overall theme and tone?
He talked about some effects that if he was doing strolling, this would be something that he would use every single time.
Because he doesn't need to perform magic.
He doesn't actually.
Yeah,
he doesn't.
I know. My old man, my pops was one like that was kind of boggling his mind the other day. He's like, why would you want to learn stuff and not want to actually perform for people? And I was like, well, believe it or not, Dad, like not a lot of people really have the ultimate goal of being a performing magician. Some people are just interested in it in other ways. That's why they become
creators and whatever, So what was interesting is somebody asked the question about designer decks. So I got into a debate with somebody, and I'll see what your opinion is on this. So when I go to a table, this one particular person was all worried about deck switching and all this kind of stuff. So he'd asked John, what's a good way to do a deck switch if you're strolling or doing anything like that, and you're either standing or you
put it in your right pocket and you take a deck out of your left pocket.
Basically, yeah.
That's how you do it.
So I literally there's a couple things that I've never gotten burnt on or never had questions, because when you're strolling, they're not there necessarily to see a magic show. So the fact that there's magic kind of takes them by surprise.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not anticipating like, ooh, I'm going to really watch this guy. I'm going to, so they don't have time to kind of think about what their attack is going to be to try to solve things. I will literally walk up to a table and I will have 2 decks on my close-up pad. I'll have a die over here. It's a hard close-up pad, so I set it down on the table and I pull out one deck and I do the plunger. And then I put that deck away and I'm like, hey, would you like to see that? And I pull out the other one and I do the anniversary card, the royal family where they're holding hands. And I literally switched to that. I just grab another deck. And nobody's going like, hey, why did you grab that other deck? And why didn't you do it with this one? And never. I have never gotten burnt that way. Nor have I ever had anyone go, all right, that's got to be a trick deck because that's not a bicycle deck. That's a designer deck. So that looks fishy. So there's something up with that. I've never had anyone question. When I do sleight of hand with cards, like Dunsbury Delusion, where you look like you made a mistake, but you end up finding the card, or the name card going up to the top side, ambitious card. I've never had anyone go and say, well, that must be a trick deck.
That's what she said.
Yeah. I've never gotten questioned like that. So I've never gotten questioned on a designer deck. Nobody, and the only thing that I've ever had to happen is people go up to me and go, oh my gosh, that's a really cool looking deck. And so John's opinion of that was that when you're doing card magic, every deck is a suspicious deck to the layperson. And I'm saying,
because you're holding it.
Yeah. And I'm saying, no, I don't think so. Maybe to a magician, but, and he also thought that, everybody knows of a Svengali deck. Everybody knows a stripper deck. When we have parents come in,
because he's a magician. That's what magicians say. If you were to go up to a layman and say, how do you feel about the Svengali deck? They'll say, what the French is a Svengali?
Right.
Who's a Svengali? Who?
So I've never...
dude, I talk about this with, I'm going to slightly divert. I talk about this with Uncle Rich all the time because of floating tables, We were talking about doing it in our show, and, but everyone does the floating table. Uncle Rich, you got to understand, most people have not even seen a live magic show.
Right.
Magicians, we've been around this stuff forever, and we're just constantly obsessing over it, so it's just always relevant in our minds, and it's always going to be something. Laymen don't know, and George Tovar will back me up on this. Laymen don't know shit. That's what he says. Excuse the language, but they don't know anything. They don't know that stuff.
Right.
They know what we present to them. And as far as like the debate with designer decks and things like this, because I'm a magician, when I see someone not using a designer deck, I'm way more suspicious, because I know commercially everything is made for red bicycle decks. So if I see a magician using a red bicycle deck, I am already assuming there could be any level of gaffes and gimmicks that gentleman has any access to whatsoever that could be assisting him in those routines.
Right.
If I see a designer deck being used, sure, gimmicks or gaffes could be made, but that guy would have had to have made them himself.
Right.
Right. And if he's going to put in that kind of work, that's great. But my whole question is, how good is this trick that I'm looking at? If
Right.
I'm looking at a trick and I'm thinking about gaffes and gimmicks and things like this, then, the person who's presented to me is not really doing that great of a job, man.
Right.
Quite honestly, which is why you've never been burned, because you do a great job. It should never be a question of that. And if there is a question of that, it has nothing to do with the deck, dude. I'm sorry. That's just an easy answer for yourself to feel good. It has to do with you.
And it's the epitome of running when you're not being chased. There are so many people that are scared of things, like loops or whatever the case may be. And you can almost, you almost get a sense that there's a little bit of awkwardness with whatever it is that they're afraid of, that they're going to get caught or they're going to get burnt or they're going to get whatever. If you can just pretend like it's not even there, don't be conscientious of it yourself. Because if you're conscientious of it, you might tell there might be a small tell there that says, ooh, I might get burnt.
Yeah, exactly. That there's that tension, and people subconsciously pick up on tension all the time. It's a natural defense mechanism for ourselves. So
it's totally like, I'll give you a perfect example. I do Badlands Bob, which is a die that cannot move inside of a box. It's put out by Viking. It's a beautiful effect. I use it a lot. I lost mine. So I took one out of inventory, and it had a slightly different design on it than what the original one was. So I was like, well, I passed it around, and I did this all night long, and I get to one group, and somehow the guy flicked it the right way, and it flipped to 2. And so when he got it flipped, he said, oh, I got it to move. And I took it back, and I just re-engaged it back to the 6. And I went, oh yeah, no, I think that was an optical illusion because it's on 6. Here, try it again. I gave it back to him, and then he couldn't get it to move. So I wasn't like, give that back. I just skipped right over it. Like, okay, fine, no big deal. Here, can you move it? Can you move it? And but as soon as he got it to move, he went, oh, it's on 2, and he handed it to me, and I went, no, it's on 6. And I changed it, and he went, oh, wait a minute, no, it was on 2, and I'm like, no,
6s look like 2s sometimes, sir.
And I just gave it back to him, and he couldn't, whatever he did before, he couldn't duplicate, thankfully. And I was like, well, maybe the ghosts are messing with you, but I didn't run.
Almost strengthens the illusion.
Yeah, I wasn't scared, And the way I started presenting it now is I go in and I say, I'm going to show you an optical illusion. So this is the power of suggestion, shall we say. This die is stuck on 6. You can look at it. You can do, so they all examine it. They do the shaking of it, and everything like that. And I said, now, if you were going to make a gamble and you were going to call out a number when the die is being rolled, what would you say? And they say 2. And I look at the die and I went, and I pass it around, and it's 2 or 3, whatever it is. And so they pass it around. I say, now that was the power of suggestion, because the reality is this is really on 6, and it can't be moved off that 6. And they pass it around. They're going like, what the heck? And I said, so it's just the power of suggestion. Your brain,
I love that,
is seeing what it wants to see. So give me another number, and they give me another number, and I said, see, and they pass it around. And they're like, oh yeah. And I said, but it's really on 6. And they're like, what the?
I love that. That's awesome.
But yeah, I don't. 1, I don't run. 2, I don't panic when something, like if I accidentally drop the gimmick, I'm not like diving on it like it's a hand grenade that just came out.
You know what I did the other day?
Save everybody.
I went in to do envelope.
Yes.
Right, and I was doing it with the Himber wallet, that method, if you're familiar.
Yeah.
And making it vanish and all that good stuff. And I didn't have the envelope gimmick in my pocket. So pull out the wallet, had him looking at, make a big deal about the envelope being empty, put it in there, cover it up. All right, take a card, sign it, all that stuff. No gimmick in my pocket. And I was like, all right, well. And I was thinking, I was like, could I put in? No, all right. So I did the same thing, dude. I didn't even panic, and it was a nice couple. I turned around, I'm like, that's crazy. Did you see that? And they're like, what? I'm like, my envelope, it's gone. And they're like, what do you mean? It's like I literally just jumped ahead of the trick. I flipped it, it was gone. Right. And it says gone. I have a little thing that's written and it says gone. And normally it's supposed to be in my hand, but it's just literally gone. I'm like, that was weird. Let's forget about that. Let's take this. And then I just did ambitious card with their card after that. And
Yeah.
They had no idea that she literally was like, I'm really good with catching people. And I've seen a lot of magicians. You're really, really good. I'm like, oh my gosh. The timing of you saying that right now, I was like, bless you. That's just awesome.
Well, and
Really
nobody's going to know unless you tell them.
Or with detention, or literally tell them. You know, I couldn't believe that I was able to stay that cool because I felt that real uncomfortable jolt for a second. Like, oh, wow, I screwed up, but I didn't. So it was nice.
Yeah, I one time I accidentally dropped the gimmick to Badlands Bob.
Okay.
And instead of being like, oh crap, jumping down and trying to pick something up or anything like that, I just ignored it. And I went on to something else. And, I'd already done the first part of the effect. So I just went on to something else. Nobody's going, well, I wonder how come you didn't finish the rest of the routine? Or, and honestly, I think people remember the experience more than they remember the trick.
Mm-hmm.
So when they go home, they're not necessarily reciting every trick that you did. There might be moments that they remember that, oh my gosh, he made this card, but they don't remember the whole thing. They just remember the experience that they felt.
Absolutely.
When they were going through it.
And the cool thing is, if they felt a big experience, they're going to think whatever you did was that big.
Oh, yeah.
Even if it wasn't.
Yeah. So, going back to Stranger, Jonathan Molo, my neighbor came up and he's like, oh my God, we like randomly gave him numbers and they picked the numbers and he dialed it and it went to the wrong person and they didn't answer. And so we gave him another number and somebody picked up and we FaceTimed them and they knew what the card was. The whole thing he was describing, the trick, it was the experience that he felt.
Yes.
It wasn't like, oh, he did this trick and blah, blah, blah. You could just see the joy and the bewilderment that he had. And it was almost like he was reliving that experience all over again, just describing to me what he went through. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And do you know anything about Jonathan's lecture?
No.
It's a lot of it is about that
very
concept, which he does an amazing job at. And so we'll have him for our next lecture.
Cool.
So, Jonathan, if you're listening, consider yourself booked. So you're on your 5th show. You got kind of a permanent residency there?
Yeah, definitely.
So and how often are we doing the shows?
Once a month, last Wednesday of every month.
Last Wednesday. Okay, perfect.
That's right.
And it's down in Dana Park. So Dana Point. So if anyone is down, that's about 3 hours from here?
From here, I have no idea, but it's definitely 2 hours from Santa Clarita.
Okay.
And like on a good day, 1 hour and 40 minutes, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe. But
so I'm guessing probably 2.5 to 3 hours from
That's
here.
right. Yeah. So Hennessy's Dana Point, come check us out. Me and Uncle Rich, Generations of Wonder.
And that's so
Speaking of Molo, you know what, Molo? You're going to be booked for our show too. Generations of Wonder. You're getting booked 2 gigs now. Just to let you know.
There you go.
We'll iron out a date.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm very proud of you guys.
Thanks, man.
I think we did the first show here, didn't we?
Yeah. Again, really the first one, because other than that, we're just grinding out in the cellar, man.
Yeah, and even that was enjoyable, and you could see the potential of where it could go.
Yeah, thanks, man.
And so that's great. I'm really happy for you. With that, you got anything else you want to add?
No, I think we're done.
Okay.
I think we did a good job today, Jim.
Okay.
We'll call it a day.
We were reminiscing about our experience,
Yeah.
the experience we felt.
Right. Yeah.
So
I love that. That's
hopefully
awesome.
the audience.
But that is
will
such a
feel
good,
it as well.
a good takeaway, right? Like, if you think you have a good show, think about someone who saw the show and how they would describe it to someone else.
Right.
And really try to imagine it. How are they describing it? Are they able to match that same type of feeling or energy, right? And if not, maybe try to figure out a way to tweak your show to get a little bit more of that
Right.
emotional energy out of it. Right?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, because it's obviously the effect is important to give them the experience, but you can take a really great effect and just not have enough behind it to give that experience to those people, and that's what they're going to remember.
Yes, that's correct.
So
Excellent.
with that, thank you all for listening. It's good to be back. Hopefully next week I won't be so stuffy.
Yeah, right.
And we'll be back to normal. All right.
All right.
At White Rabbit Magic.
We believe in magic.
This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.